Greetings, Iain from RTO here. Hope you're all well. Here we go for another week. Dingy weather as usual. Nothing different there these days. Anyway, today we have reached part 6 of the Rick Wakeman story. And today we're going to look at the album that he did with his son, Adam. Both Oliver and Adam are musical, and he has made 5 albums with his son Adam. I haven't got all these, but they are available on Spotify to listen to, so I have had to give them a good listen, and now I can give my verdict. So, coming in at number 5, we have the second album from 1993. It's called No Expense Spared. It's Rick and Adam do all the keyboards, Adam does the vocals, and helping them out people that have always worked with them. Chrissy Hammond's back on vocals, Alan Thompson on the bass, Dr. Doom on the guitar, whoever he is. Percussionist Stuart Sawney, and the ever-present Tony Fernandez on the drums. First track is the title track, No Expense Spared. This is probably the best track on the album. It's got some great keyboards sounds from both Adam and Rick. I quite like that track. Then we've got Dillick, another really good track. All I can say is that father like son. You know, they're both great on the keyboards and they're sort of interacting between each other. It's pretty cool. It's Your Move. Now, I don't like this. It's pretty... I just, there's this thing about it. No One Cares. It's not too bad. Not the best track, but it's listenable. Luck of the Draw, it's okay, but there's some really good keyboard runs on this. Dream of the World Away, it was a solid enough track, but nothing fantastic. Is It the Spring? I like this. This is very, very quirky. It's got some lovely keyboard runs in this one. Nothing Ever Changes, it's just a little bit mediocre to me. Now, number 10, I mean, this sounds so 80s even though it's done in the 90s, but it's okay. Jungle, love the keyboards on this. The drumming's not very good, sounds like very cheap. Drum Kit, then we get another brilliant track, and it is one of my favourites. It's called Children of Chernobyl. It's got a lovely piano piece here from Rick. Solid stuff. Finding the Time. I don't like this one. I like the music, but the singing's not very good. With this album, I really like the instrumentals on here, but I'm not very keen on the vocal ones. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Coming in at number 4, we go to 1996. Now, this is the 5th album, and it's called, I think it's called Vignettes. I got Rick and Adam again, of course. Then we got Chrissy Hammond on the vocals. Again, the English Chamber Choir's on here. Fraser Thornycroft Smith, who's played guitar on Rick's solo stuff. Phil Loughlin on bass. Excuse me. Stuart Sawney on the percussion and guitar and the string ensemble. We got the first track, which is called Waiting Alone. This is a really nice song. Very, very ambient. Wish I Was You, another good song. I like Adam's vocal on this, is really good. We got some solid keyboards from Rick. Solid track. Sun Comes Crying. It's really good. Some great little bits of guitar on here from Fraser Thornycroft Smith. Not a bad track at all. A Breath of Heaven, a nice instrumental track here. The delicate keyboards. It's very hard to see which one's playing what because they sound so much alike. Moment in Time. It's very solid, nothing wrong with it, very pleasant track. The Artist's Dream. The melody's pretty good. I don't know who does the melody and who does the piano, but it's okay. It's a little bit lackluster in places, but it's not too bad. Change of Face. Great vocal here from Adam. Very good track. Then we get my favourite here, called Madman Blues. It's a very basic sort of jazzy blues number with some great piano. Again, I don't know if it's Rick playing it or Adam. I would say, listening to it, I reckon it's Rick, but don't quote me on that. A Painting of Our Love. Not a particular favourite of mine. Just find it a little bit dull. Riverside. Very pleasant song. Just very nice ambient keyboards. Need You. Again, very ambient, pleasant music. Simply acoustic. The piano work on this one is really nice. Then we got Just Another Tear. This is a more bluesy track again. It's a great vocal from Chrissy Hammond. I like that track a lot. Last track on the album. This is an okay album. It sounds the same in places, but it's a pleasant enough album to listen to. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, then coming in at number 3, we get to 1996 for the 4th album, Tapestries. Joining Adam and Rick this time is Fraser Thornycroft Smith again, for Phil Lowin on the bass and Stuart Sawney on percussion. First track is called Friend Mitt's Cat. I love this. It's a piano piece. It's that classical sort of Rick Wakeman style. Very, very good. Time Will Tell, another really good track. Again, one of them's playing the piano, one's playing the keyboards, and they just play off each other. It's really good. Fountains of Love. This is a very gentle, almost classical piece of music. Very nice. A View from a Window. The keyboards and piano are just wonderful. They sort of play off each other, and you think it could be the one person, but they sound so much alike on the piano and keyboards. La Vengeance, Les Vendanges. I don't know, my French is terrible. It's okay. It's got some strings on this. Very dramatic sort of sounding song. Some nice keyboard runs and a nice melody. Summer's End. Just a lovely piece of piano music here. Then we get a version of Claire de Lune, my favourite piece of music by Debussy. Everyone knows that one. It's pretty cool. A Brighter Dawn, a really good track. It feels like it is the beginning of the day. The Blue Lily, the combination of the piano and the swirling keyboards gives it so much depth. Title track's called Tapestry. Again, it's just very, very pleasant. Then we get the Garden Party. This is my favourite track. It's very quirky. It could have been in any film soundtrack from the 30s. It's got that jazzy sort of trumpet sounds. Really, really strong track. Portraits in the Gallery. Some lovely guitar on this along with the piano. Very nice piece. The Daydream. Again, I can't fault these albums. They are such pleasant compositions. This is a classic example. Then we get the Storyteller. It's got some lovely classical guitar on this. A very, very good track. This is a very gentle album with some great playing by everybody involved. It's just a really nice album. I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 7.6. Okay, then coming in at number 2, we go to 1995, and the third album, and it's called Romance of the Victorian Age. Joining Adam and Rick this time is just Stuart Storney on percussion and acoustic guitar. Now, the first track is my favourite track, and it's called Burlington Arcade. I love this. This sounds like it's come straight out of the TV series Jeeves and Wooster. It's that sort of period sort of music. It's a fantastic piece of music. I love it. If only another really nice piece of music. Some lovely keyboards here. You've got that's that combination, how they intertwine, really good. The last teardrop. This is a very dramatic piece on the piano, and the keyboard in the background just gives it that depth and texture. Still Dreaming, sound very much like the last teardrop. Very, very good track. Then we get the title tracks, Memories of the Victorian Age. Very pleasant. Piano playing, I think this is Rick on the piano. It's a really good track. Lost in Words, we got pianos and guitar. It's very pleasant. A Day of Love. This is where the piano takes the background and the keyboard takes the foreground. It's very, very nice. The melody played on the piano is wonderful, and then you got some lovely swells on the keyboard. It's different because it's the other way round. Forever in My Heart, very dramatic piece, but peaceful at the same time. Really nice. Days of Wonder sort of is just intertwined from Forever in My Heart. Very, very good track. The Swans, very relaxing, ambient, mellow. And then we got another melody, and it just says what the title is. It's such a mellow track. It's so relaxing. Dance of the Elves. This is one of them little frisky numbers that Rick's renowned for. Like it. It's got some tambourine on this as well. It's quite good. Again, I think this has just got some wonderful playing on here. I just love these mellow type albums. They are so enjoyable. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 1. Now, this album has got 2 titles. It's either, depends where you live, I think depends where you're from. It's Wakeman with Wakeman, or The Lure of the Wind, 1993, and it's the debut album. So on here it's just Rick and Adam, really, playing all the keyboards and pianos and organs, etc. First track is called The Lure of the Wind. I love this. It's very prog. The keyboard runs are brilliant. There's this deep synth bass line on it as well. It's terrific. The Beachcomber, it's got sort of woodwind sound on the keyboards. There's a bit of glockenspiel sound on there. Really nice track, and the piano on that is terrific. Megalomania sounds very Yes without guitars. Excellent track. Ragger and Rhyme, interesting this one is. You got some keyboard sounds that don't know what they're trying to represent, but they got the sound right. It's really good. Sink or Swim, another sort of typical sort of Rick Wakeman solo performance. Then we get my favourite, called Caesara. I love the keyboards in this. Such delicate, with a little bit of aggression in there as well. But it's a calmed aggression. Very, very good track. It's a long track. It's very proggy in places, and it's really good. Then we get After the Atom. Probably the weakest track on the album. It's one that I'm not that keen on. The Suicide Shuffle. Once again, we get some of them little quirky tunes that Rick comes up with. Very foot tapping. I like that a lot. Then we get Past and Present. Some Hammond organ in here, which is always really good. Some nice piano that in the combination. Lots of twiddly bits in this, really good. And also they do a cover of the Stones number Painted Black. I like this version. It's a nice interpretation. It's atmospheric and it's dramatic. And you've got Stuart Storney doing some of the programming on this. It's percussion programming. It's very, very good. This is an album that I have got, and that's probably why it's my number one. It's a great album. It's, you know, for the time, and the use of the percussion on here and the programming is pretty good. It doesn't sound out of place either. It's got some really nice playing on this, and I enjoy this album quite a lot. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8.5. So there we go. Next week is the final part of Rick Wakeman, and we'll be looking at the other collaboration albums that he's worked on. Such a busy man. How does he get all this in? And when you look at the years they come out, you think, God, he made so many albums in one year. So next week we're just going to have a look at some of the collaborations. I don't think I've got everyone because we'll be here till Kingdom Come, but I've got a nice selection for you. Okay, I'll be back later with a classic album, and we're going to have a look today at Level 42's Running in the Family. So join me for that, and bye for now.